Hello, I am Kristan Weisdack, CEO and founder of BehaviorWorx of Southwestern Pa. Thank you for joining us here for another Work Through It Wednesday. And today we're going to be talking about biting, when biting happens. Now, this can be in your classroom, in your home, if you're a parent. It can be a real problem if kiddos are biting their peers or if one sibling is biting another. And how do you deal with that, right? A lot of parents will tell me, well, we put them in timeout or we redirect them or we tell them that that's not good. And so we're going to talk about how to use this 4-quadrant sheet and our ABC chart. If you don't already have this, again, what I stress is if you're not a member of our email list, you can join the list. We send these out every week, and you can also click the link below this video to subscribe, and you'll be able to print these out. So we're going to work through these every Wednesday, and it's, again, this 4-quadrant sheet. And what I mean by that is generally behavior happens for 4 different reasons: attention, escape avoidance, gain tangible, or self-stimulatory. So what I want to start out in doing this video is just kind of a refresh. And we do this at the beginning of all of our behavior trainings. We talk about the 4 functions of behavior. So if you want to get out this sheet, the 4-quadrant sheet, and look at attention, I want you to just write no attention was given. And this is just going to be a really great understanding of when you're trying to work through understanding behavior, whether it's happening in a classroom that you're working in a client in a home setting, or if it's happening in your own home, how to really use a process of elimination to figure out what's going on with behavior. So under attention, we write no attention was given. Under escape avoid, we're going to write demand or task was presented. And then gain tangible, toy or food, and this could be different other than a toy or food if you're working with adults, obviously. And then self-stimulatory, you're just going to write too much or too little energy. And then everything that you just wrote in those little blurbs, so no attention was given, demand or task was presented, gain tangible, and too much or too little energy. You're going to circle all 4 of those, and then circle everything at the bottom: too much or too little, food, oxygen, activity, water, sleep, and pain. The beautiful thing is everything that you just circled is going to translate into antecedents that you're going to write in your ABC chart. So when you bring out the ABC chart, you're going to see two different parts, right? You have the top part that says what's happening now, but then what do I want to have happen? Because you are able to change the antecedent, the behavior, and the consequence itself. So when we look at biting, it's easy to put that in the column, right? Behavior biting. We know exactly what that looks like. But let's talk about what happened before that biting occurred. Now, this could be happening for different reasons for different kiddos. In the scenario that I was observing, the one brother was trying to get another toy off of his other brother. And so that was gain tangible. Plus, he was using it to get attention. You can also see when behavior is used for attention because the child will usually laugh or smile at the caregiver and they kind of make a game out of it. So that's how you know what's happening then. So in this scenario, it was to get something from his brother, but he was also using it to get attention. Now, it could be getting attention from the teacher, and it could be getting attention from that other peer or the sibling to say, hey, give me that, or I want that back, right? So in this scenario, it was to gain tangible. He wanted the toy, but he also wanted his brother's attention. So he did the biting. And then what's happening now is when he bites, he gets attention, and he was also getting the toy. So what you have to do is make sure that attention is no longer given and they don't get the toy that they wanted to get because of the biting. So how do we do that, right? So what we make sure to do is give all of our attention. So if there's a consequence, right, the biting, so all attention goes to the person that got bit, right? So what you have to do is think about that consequence. It's serving its purpose. Usually the antecedent matches the consequence, at least on one level or another. So in this situation, if he is using that biting to get attention and the item, you have to make sure that he doesn't get either one of those. So in the situation, what I was working on with Mom, I said, make sure all the attention goes to the person that just got bit. We're not going to make eye contact with the kiddo that did the biting. We're not going to redirect. We're not going to do any of that. Obviously, you want to still keep that kiddo in your peripheral vision to make sure that they're not going to hurt themselves or somebody else. That's very important. All the attention goes to the person that got bit, and they don't get that toy. And so making sure everybody's on the same page and that they're reinforcing the behavior in the same way. Because if one person is giving in to that biting behavior, that's not really helping create healthy boundaries for that kiddo to talk to them about what a good relationship is with their peers or their siblings, etc. And so it's always important, again, to map these things out and really understand why they are happening. And if you can, make sure that you're calling in somebody from a behavioral support team to help guide this process as well. But we realize that things have changed over the last couple of years, and sometimes there aren't always great supports in place, or supports aren't even available to help. So that's why we're going to have more and more Work Through It Wednesdays right here at 7 p.m. Live here on our Facebook page or recorded. But please use these tools in the future. Again, you can get these tools if you are a member of our email list, or if you haven't already subscribed, just click the link below this video and you can get that, and then start working through these with us each and every week. If you have a scenario that you're encountering with behavior in a home setting or clinical setting, something's coming up and you're just not sure what to do, submit it to us at behaviorworxpa@gmail.com. That's behaviorworxpa at gmail.com. Now, just as a recap, we talked about biting this week and how to make sure that the attention is given to the person that got bitten and not the person that did the biting, making sure they're not getting that toy that they were trying to get by biting that other person, and make sure that it's not meeting that need, right? And we always want to try to teach replacement skills as well. What's another way that I can get something from someone else? Or teaching the skill of making different choices, right? And so one of the little things that we talk about in our trainings too are identifying what are called precursor behaviors. So precursor behaviors are just that little behavior that occurs before the big behavior that tell us that that other big behavior is about to happen. So if you can identify the smaller behaviors that tell me that that behavior is going to change, and then intervene. How can I address that skill deficit right there? How can I model that behavior to say, oh, it looks like you want that toy. You want to share, or you want to play. Maybe we can work on sharing, turn taking, but that's a great way to be proactive rather than reactive. And that's one of the things in my videos that I like to talk about, because sometimes you have a chance to jump in, but sometimes you don't. So being proactive versus reactive in that situation, identifying when you have the ability to do that. So I hope you enjoyed this Work Through It Wednesday. Again, if you have any questions or comments, please send them to us so that we can help you work through it as well. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see you right back here next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Take care.